designer jewelry. All work is done in-house and always to your complete satisfaction. Stop in today at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue in Lynn Haven. They're on Facebook and at tcjeweler.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub!
Wake him up, Coach. It's on Monday.
Stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! I'm gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber dub and hot tub! Rubber dub and me! Shaking hot tub!
Yeah!
Really make me sweat!
Yeah!
Shaking hot tub!
Yeah!
Really make me wet! Yeah!
Well. Not in the mood today. Just don't feel it. Let's just go home.
Only one of our headsets are working.
Can you hear me? Hey, Chad just texted on his way. We'll be 4 or 5 minutes late. Dr. Chad Mitchell. Hey, Wildcat, just to pump you up. Research here. Chilling map shows which 75% of the U.S. population will be killed in a nuclear war. I'm looking for information. I said, this is pretty good. It will not be good.
Say that again?
75% of the United States population. I just showed the video. It's military video.
And the other 25% will be radiated and
oh my God, it's bad, man. It's some bad stuff. Oh, did you hear this is my Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom update. Texas governor.
We need a music bed for that.
Texas governor warned people crossing. What is it? Rio Grande? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That there's alligators. How big? Yeah. Are they do you think they're putting more in there quietly?
No, it kind of depends on the water level. When it gets low, they start coming out. And there are, on the American side, they have these great big canals that run through probably 30, 40 miles inland. And so those crocs that are in, freshwater ponds and stuff like that, when those ponds get low, they start heading through those canals to the Rio Grande River. Oh, yeah.
And there was a lake in the great state of Florida has over 30,000 gators. 30,000. And they had a list was do not swim, do not get in these particular lakes in Florida. And guess what? I didn't write it down.
You didn't write it down?
I didn't write it down. I could probably find it, but I didn't write it down. Anyway.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible that you didn't write it down. Because
this is your nature update. This is your weather update. This is all until Chad gets here. Did you see the pictures of the tornadoes in Nebraska Friday, Saturday,
Oklahoma?
Oh my God, man!
I heard about them.
No, it was terrible. Seriously, it ranks in the top 20 all time in the United States. This one particular supercell tornado, EF5, which we hadn't had in 11 years. They don't have them very often. Winds over 230 miles an hour. They show the people in that town later on, and they've lost everything. I mean, it was like 230. What was Michael's winds?
150.
230.
Yeah, 230. It's more of a confined
and this was not
area.
This was not a small. This was a huge funnel. It was huge, and I don't see how I may live through that.
I did see those pictures, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I saw one that was like a pencil. Those are the real intense ones, the real thin tornadoes, real skinny tornadoes. And then I saw that one that just covered the whole frame of the cell phone. It was just massive.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. It was unbelievable.
It knocked
then there's one.
City blocks with one touchdown.
Yeah,
something
that
like
wide.
That was crazy.
And then there was one that this one weather chaser was driving into it, and there was 2 separate ones that were huge. They weren't small, coming out of the clouds, and he got by one, took off where he catch up with the other one, which went too far away. And how those guys sit there and let those things pass that close to you, I don't get.
One of my idiot friends was a tornado chaser. Had a small pickup truck with all this gear strapped to it. Kind of looked like Dr. Mitchell's truck in a way. But he had this great big thing on his back window, and it said, "Please stay back 2 counties."
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know how some trucks say stay back 200 feet? This one said stay back 2 counties, which is good advice if you're behind
one other thing that happened, is a train was on the tracks, and it stopped. And the guys were going to get hit. And they did, not direct, but real close by to the train. The windows broke out.
A passenger
one of the
train?
I don't know, trash or not. I know one of the carts was knocked out. It just had where the engine was, the guys in the engine. And it was bad. It was some terrible weather. We hadn't had a breakout like this since 2011. This strong. The one that hit Tuscaloosa on the 27th.
Our hurricane season's supposed to be fairly gnarly, too.
What's the date today? What is the day?
The 29th.
Okay, Tuscaloosa, I think, on 27th, April 27th. That was one of the worst of all time. 300 people got killed. I mean, it was bad, some bad stuff. But this one, this past weekend in Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, it was some bad stuff, buddy. Thank God we were safe here. Chad, if we get a cold front now, a real strong cold front with our temperatures being in the we're going to be in the 90s up by Interstate 10, that would be some bad weather there.
Could be.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Temperature inversion, yeah.
I've looked into it. I've looked at the winds. I've looked at the clouds. I've been studying this. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're safe here.
You're going to be a weatherman when you grow up?
I am. I will never grow up, and I'll never be a weatherman. Did you have a good weekend, Doctor?
It was pretty good.
Man, I'm struggling today.
Me too.
I just, golly, I don't know what happened.
Oh.
I've been dizzy. Let me ask you something. What happens to you when you...
Are you blonde?
Bend over. That's a personal question.
I didn't need that this morning.
You bend over, and you get up, and you bend over, and you get up, and you see black spots. What is that? What's that? What's your body trying to tell you?
You're about to pass out.
No, why? But why does that happen? I tried a pair of shorts on. I bent over, and I'm like, God dang, man, I'm about to pass out.
Your pressure to the blood pressure to your brain is not quite right. Yep, and that's usual. That kind of stuff would have to be worked up if you're having that
old man. That's what it means. You're old.
No, I've had this before. And
if you're having it often, you need to talk to your doctor about it.
Well, you are my doctor.
I'm an orthopedic surgeon.
No, you are my doctor. I go to you for everything.
I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I
call him at home and ask these questions. I ask him all kind of questions.
Oh.
You may tell you that one night we had that long discussion. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. NFL draft, the SEC kicked butt again, like always. But what about this? I know you're going to talk about this a little bit later today. FSU had 10 players drafted. Still didn't make the playoffs. 10 players drafted. Central Florida, your favorite school, the one you give all your millions to, Florida Gators, and Miami. They had 7 picks combined, 7. Yep. FSU had 10.
Yep.
It just means more. We need them in the SEC. We do not let them go to the Big Ten. They need to come home with us.
I agree with that. They don't need to go to the Big Ten.
You got all these other universities that do not want them, but we need them.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think about that? Come on, what do you think? 10 players drafted. That's pretty good.
When we get to the updates, I'll tell you why that is.
All right, good. That's a good thing. I'm ready. All right. I had one other thing. Arnold softball. How about that? Rick Green, the athletic director over there.
Yeah.
District 2, 4A, Coach of the Year by the FACA.
Congratulations, Coach Green. Yep.
And I think the record this year is one of the best they've had in years, or at least 20, I want to say 2016, something like that. But they got it rolling. They got a shot to win something. The baseball team's got a shot to win something. The soccer team is not state champs. They are state champs, but they're also national champs. How about that? Could we get 3 state championships in 1 year out of Arnold?
It's awesome.
Glenn hopes not, but speaking of Glenn,
he'll just have to get over it.
No, Glenn's
like
for
it. It's Bay County.
Yeah, he does. 16th straight year that these headsets sound funny today. Sound different.
Like I said, they changed equipment in here.
Well, actually, I think it's a little bit better. Thank them for changing.
Mine's only on one side, so I'm
maybe that's what it is. Chad, does that make you feel dizzy when you're on one side?
No,
because I am dizzy.
Whatever
dizzy
you do,
right
don't
now.
bend over.
18th straight year that the SEC has dominated the NFL draft. And do you realize they did this with 2 less teams than the Big Ten? The Big Ten has 2 more teams than we have. And Jim had posted something. So we'll get into him a little bit more tomorrow about this. We'll make him feel really good. But here you go. We'll go, and we're going to cover this a little bit later in the show. The teams that really did well, Michigan was number 1. They didn't break all Georgia's record. They did a good job. Michigan had 13 players drafted. Texas had 11, the best in years for the Texas Longhorns. Then Alabama, FSU, and Washington, all 3 had 10 players drafted. Now let's look at this. 13 Michigan players were drafted. I believe they were in the playoffs. I believe they won the national championship. When you play on Saturday, you better have a lot of players on your team that can play on Sundays if you want to win a championship.
Yeah.
Texas was also in the national playoffs. They had 11 teams drafted. They played Washington, which had 10 players drafted, and Washington beat the team with 11. They outcoached them. They beat them. They beat Stark.
Yeah.
Now, that coach, DeBoer, is not at Washington. He's at Alabama. Alabama had 10 teams drafted. They were also in the playoffs. They won the SEC. And they got beat by the number 1 team in the country in overtime, Michigan. FSU had 10 players drafted, won the ACC, and still didn't get in the playoffs. Is anything right in this world? Is anything fair, Chad?
It is kind of a weird way of looking at things.
Help me with this. The top 5 teams in college football had the most drafts, the top 5 drafted teams. 4 of them made the playoffs and 1 didn't. 1 won 13 games and didn't get in. The team with 11 lost 1 game and got in. The other team with 10 lost 1 game to the team that had 10, Texas. Alabama lost to Texas. They got in. FSU, 13-0, did not get in. Does this have even more information the committee got it wrong? Help me.
I'm still processing.
That's a lot of great information.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Because
FSU had a good ball club, but their quarterback was hurt. And Chad will tell us later where the quarterback was drafted. Right? Chad's going to have more and great information on this later today on FSU's quarterback draft pick, where he went. And it's just amazing to me. Seriously, on Friday night, you want guys that can play on Saturday. Saturday, you want guys that can play on Sunday. And on the guys you have on Sunday, you want them to be the best, right? The best players win. Chad, help me quit playing and listen.
As coaches,
best players win. Correct.
That is true.
If
they got a good coach, you can have a team of great players. I've seen a coach not do very well. I
disagree. I've seen a team with great players and a very average coach win.
Look at Lincoln Riley. He had the Heisman Trophy winner from the previous year.
Why can't you be nice to that poor man? All right, let's talk about what a day. We're struggling today, man. This is killing me. Can you rub my head?
No.
You take these spots, make them go away. She don't even care. She really doesn't care. She care less about dead or alive. All right, let's get it in. Let's get some great sponsors to talk about. I talked to Jay Michaels yesterday after church. I went in there. They have something that a lot of people don't understand. I didn't know it until Saturday. They have a shrimp burger, okay?
A shrimp burger.
Instead of a hamburger, they have a shrimp burger, fried shrimp burger that's outstanding. It's outstanding.
Really?
If you love shrimp, and I
love shrimp.
I told him, I said,
No
Jack
matter
Michael,
what you do to it, I love it.
he has the best fried shrimp of any restaurant I've ever been to, ever. And I've been to a lot of them. I said, I don't know what you do. He won't tell you anyway. And they also give you a lot. You know, a lot of places you pay a lot of money, they don't give very much. They give you a lot. Great food down there. Try the shrimp burger. Go try the shrimp burger. I think you'll love it. It's outstanding. Everything's good, Jay Michael's. Best seafood, coldest beer, red beans and rice is a special today. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. The legendary Jay Michael's Restaurant. South Oak Title and Closing. I want to thank Chuck Tucker for doing such a wonderful job. His company's expanding throughout Northwest Florida. I'm talking about the elites use him. Mark Cow at 38, one of the top salesmen in the Southeast. That's all they're going to use is Chuck Tucker. They're going to try to get every client. Make sure we use South Oak Title and Closing. Want the closing done right the first time. No mistakes. No mistakes. South Oak Title and Closing, number one. Chuck Tucker is number one. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Anytime, day or night, Stevenson Air Conditioning is there for you. Another local guy that their company's just building and building and building because they're outstanding, honest people, hard workers. Get it serviced about every 6 months. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Chad bought a huge unit for that mansion he lives in, and he's been happy ever since. Also, Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street. Daily specials of meat, 3 sides for $11.20. Friday night special is unbelievable. Fried fish or grilled, baked beans, cheese grits or french fries or roll of tea. Also, Saturday's one of their other popular nights. Saturday night, fried shrimp. Then Sunday, the big one, fried chicken, mashed potato, green beans, cream corn and roll at the legendary Charlie Corn's place. Him and Lynn's had restaurants in 1986. They got one up on 231 also. We'll be right back, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm trying to decide to lay down, sleep, or what. We'll be right back. Chad might take over.
Just don't bend over, that's all.
I see black spots. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 14 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast, and look for the high to be 79. Tonight, there will be a variety of slight fog and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 69. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job. It's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting your family.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Kyle Larson claims to win one of the season in Las Vegas. The Monday Morning Race Recap is brought to you by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco Fuel helps your car reach peak performance.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
You stop here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
Enter During yesterday's Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, one of the biggest questions was, could Chevrolet claim its third win in a row? The answer is a huge yes. Kyle Larson and Hendrick Motorsports dominated and won their first of the season.
My car felt better than it did in the fall. Obviously, in the fall, the conditions are warmer in Vegas. That has a big effect on the balance of your race car, especially in the long run. But I thought my car drove better, as Cliff mentioned, from the beginning of the run to the end of the run. In the fall, I would get really, really loose. And even all the other Vegas races, I would get really, really loose on the long runs. But today, my balance stayed not bad. I know those guys were a little bit better than me. It helps when you're getting big drafts on the straightaways.
Kyle Larson led 181 of the 267 laps yesterday. Tyler Reddick gave Larson a run for his money, but ended up finishing in second. Third was Ryan Blaney, with Ross Chastain fourth and Ty Gibbs fifth. Noah Gregson, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and William Byron were the rest of the top 10 finishers. Next, for the NASCAR Cup Series, it's a visit to the Phoenix Raceway. Motor Racing Network's coverage of the Shriners Children's 500 begins Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm Mike Bagley. This has been the Monday Morning Race Recap on the Motor Racing Network.
Give them a call. Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I hope that woke you up, Chad.
Oh, that was loud.
That was loud. That's what it is. I'm not used to these, the microphones or the headsets or the board.
Something different.
Yeah, everything's different today.
They changed the microphone thingamabobber in here, the mixer.
Okay, and you got it up probably too loud, right?
I probably do.
We'll blame him for all of our problems.
I like to watch
everything that goes wrong in my life.
Blink on and off.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Most things that go wrong in my life is I don't want to point. I don't want to blame anybody.
But
John does a good job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc. It's nice to be appreciated. It's nice to be appreciated.
Anybody that can keep James Hale in line.
He's not even
on schedule.
I don't even see the jug in here this morning. That jar, I don't see it in here.
This says Kentucky on it.
Kentucky jar. I do believe we got Coach Jones on Arnold baseball. Coach, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Guys, we're doing great. Big week, man. Big week. Talk about last week, and let's jump ahead to what's going on. This is what we've been waiting on. Give us a little rundown about last week.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
There you go. Sorry. Last week we played 3 games. We were able to win 2 of them. Ended up the season 20-4 overall. It's the most wins in the regular season in our program's history. We're just trying to keep up with softball because they did the same thing. They were 22-2, so the program record for themselves also. So it's been a pretty good year on the diamond for Arnold High School.
Man, that's incredible.
Monday night, we played at home against Rutherford. We were able to win. It was a senior night for us. We were able to win that one 10-0. Austin Hendricks had a tremendous day. He was 2 for 3 with 2 home runs, including a grand slam, had 5 RBIs, and really helped carry our offense. Then Wednesday and Thursday, we played Bozeman back-to-back, and Bozeman, as we all know, is a really quality program. And we had 2 really good baseball games. At our place on Wednesday, they beat us 3-2. We were up 2-0 through 5 innings. Cooper Moss threw very well for us, gave up no runs in the 5 innings. Went to the bullpen, and they were able to score 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th to beat us 3-2. And then we turned around the next day on Thursday, went to their place at Bozeman. We were able to beat them 5-4. Tremendous performance by a couple guys on the mound for us that really hadn't been much of a contributor for us all year. Eli Blair took the week off from pitching. He had a little bit of soreness in his back after his last outing a week ago, so we gave him a week off to get him ready for the postseason. So we had Jackson Ross, who's a freshman, left-handed pitcher, make his first varsity appearance at all, and he ended up starting. He threw 4 2/3 innings, only gave up 1 hit.
Awesome.
And 1 earned run. And then Eli Brown, who had thrown about 4 innings all year, through the last 2 1/3 innings to collect a tremendous save. They had bases loaded with 1 out, and a 5-4 game. He got a ground ball to the shortstop, Josh Lindsay, who made the play, tagged it himself, threw the ball first for a double play, and got us the win. So it was a great game. It was well played. They made a few mistakes, which helped us. We probably made a mistake or two, might have helped them. But it was back and forth kind of a game, very tight series between ourselves and Bozeman, as you should probably expect. That's a quality program there, and we're hanging in there ourselves a little bit. So really proud of Jackson Ross for coming in as a freshman and just throwing the ball in there and trusting his stuff and not being overwhelmingly nervous and giving us a chance. And we found a way to prevail 5-4. So we're 20-4 in the season. Looking forward to the district tournament this week. Starts tonight with Bay High, hosting Pensacola High School. The winner of that game will play at Arnold tomorrow night in the semifinals. The other semifinal is South Walton traveling to West Florida. So those are both tomorrow night. And then the championship game will be Thursday. If we happen to win Tuesday, we would host because we are the highest seed. We're the 1 seed. So we'll see how that all plays out. But it all starts tonight with Bay and Pensacola.
And you never know what's going to happen. Most people expect Arnold and South Walton to play for the championship, but you got to play the games. That's the reason we play the games. Can't wait. This is what you've been building for all year. And congratulations. I think we've been waiting 23, 24 years now to have a season like this. 20 wins, 4 losses. That does make history at Arnold. Great year. Did you rest, Blair, knowing we had this district games coming up this week?
Yes. I mean, had we been in the postseason at the time, we all know that he would have been able to throw some, but we decided to just err on the side of caution and give him a little bit of break. He's thrown more innings this year than he has in any other year. He's done so well, so he's got more innings. So we just want to be careful with it and give him a little bit of time. And we also didn't throw Cooper quite as long as we could have. We certainly threw him some, but he was 12 or 15 pitches below his maximum the other day. So we're just trying to give him just a little bit of a breather because we know, if we're successful, we got a few more weeks of this and we're going to be leaning on them to help get us through. So, yeah, it was, had we been playing the playoffs this week, this past week, I'm sure he would have thrown. But because of the situation last week of the season and most of the seeding is already done, we decided to make sure that we took care of his arm best we can. We try and do that around here.
All right. Let me ask you this. What do you do today? Just kind of a walkthrough, keep them off their leg. You want them fresh, ready to go. What will you do today at practice?
I'll have a normal practice. We'll be out there for a couple hours. We got to review a few things. We have some freshmen that we brought up as pinch runners and those kinds of things, and we want to make sure everybody's on the same page. But get some swings in, and and some batting practice. Just do a normal practice. I don't know if we'll take it too easy on their legs, but we won't kill them either. It'll be somewhere in between.
Right.
We have, we might only have 1 game this week if it doesn't go well for us tomorrow, but we have a maximum of 2 games this week, and then on Friday we'll find out about the playoff pairing. So it's an exciting week for us, but it's a time we got to keep putting our nose down and keep grinding a little bit.
How are you going to approach this game? Some guys look at it like we feel like we're pretty comfortable beating this team. Let's keep our best guys ready for the second game. And then sometimes you get upset and you screw up. You got to win the first game. It's like in weightlifting. You got to make that first lift. You got to win this first baseball game to get that second one. So how are you going to approach it? Have you thought about it? You know who you're going to start?
Yeah, we've thought about it. I don't know if I can tell you who we're going to start because it depends on
right. That's good. That's fine.
Tender arm, to be honest with you, and that's not just. I probably wouldn't tell you anyway.
Right.
But we're trying to see how some guys' arms bounce back. But I think our plan would be to try to see what we can do and see if we can hold off Cooper Moss and have him in relief. And if that means he comes into the first inning, then he comes into the first inning. But if that means he comes in the 4th, 5th, 6th inning to finish the deal, then I think that's the way we are leaning.
Yeah.
And then see what happens on Thursday. But like you said, we have to win the game. And the last time we played Bay, we didn't win the game. And so it is certainly not a shoo-in that we're going to win this game. Hopefully we'll come out with some fire and try and get them back for the last time. But last year, this time we got upset by West Florida, which I think was a relatively large upset. So the first round of the semifinals of this, it's important to both teams. And if they win a couple games this week, they gets in the playoffs. And they've been playing well for a while there, and they knocked us off. So they certainly have the motivation, and hopefully we do too.
How many games do you have to win to get to Fort Myers?
Once the playoff starts, we have to win 3 in a row to get to Fort Myers.
Okay.
So this is district tournament this week, so this doesn't really affect that other than seeding and home games and whatnot. But starting next week when the playoffs start, we have to win 3 in a row to get there, 5 in a row to win it all.
And it pretty much guaranteed you guys are in regardless of what happens this week. But it's going to be better to win this county district championship also.
Yeah, I think we're pretty safe saying we're going to get in the playoffs somewhere, and probably seems like the 1, 2, and 3 seeds are all probably going to stay about the same. It's just who knows who's going to be 1, 2, or 3, but the 3 teams will probably be at the top, and we're probably one of those. Winning district tournament guarantees you a home game in the first round. It is certainly possible to lose a district tournament and be like our soccer team was the number 1 seed in the whole state and played the first round of the playoffs on the road because they lost their only game was the district championship game. So it's certainly it's an important thing, and depending on the draw we got, if we were a 3 seed, it's possible we wouldn't play a home game at all in the playoffs if we didn't win the district tournament. So it's definitely important. It's first of all, it's tremendous to have a district championship under our belt. We got one a couple years ago, which was the first one. Right. It's nice to have a second one, but the home field advantage and a little bit better seating is certainly very much on the top of our minds is what we're playing for here.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for coming on. Good luck to you. Go get you a championship. We'll talk to you next Monday, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. All right, Coach Jones doing a great job. Arnold High School, 20-4, Chad. We went a long time to have that type of season, and we finally got it done.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I think they're going to make some noise. I'll be disappointed if they don't make it to Fort Myers. I think they got a good shot this year. I really do. So. I think Rick's got a great shot to make a state playoffs to the championship this year, too. Also, 22-2, softball, baseball, 20-4. It's Monday. It's Arnold Day. Let's talk about some of the great people we've got. We had a great meal. Saw David down El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the best Mexican and newest, right across the street from the Navy base. Had a great time down there Thursday night. And we got the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell right here with us this morning. Chad, what's the best way to get up with you? 25 years this football season. That doesn't happen every day. Incredible. What do we got to do to get up with you?
Call Orthopedic Associates at 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at chadmitchellmd.com and robotmd.com.
I saw you in there. Did it work, your motivational skills? Did it get him pumped up? You think he'll be okay the rest of the day?
Yeah, Smitty's going to be fine.
All right, during the break, I'd like you to do the same talk for me. I need some help today. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road, the best Texas barbecue you can get anywhere. And there's only one Rudy's in the state of Florida, and that's right here in beautiful Panama City Beach, right here on Back Beach Road. Go check it out. They got a huge room in the back. Lorelei Layton room is outstanding. You can have a party there. You can do anything you want back there, banquet, anything you want to do. You have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they cater. They're outstanding. Rudy's Barbecue. Try the turkey. You'll love it. We'll be right back. Wildcat, Doc, and myself on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 99% rate,
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Pain don't hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Woo! Get out to Newbies, have a great time. You can woo at Newbies all night long. The Mothership, the legendary Mothership, outstanding. The best bands you'll see anywhere in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night. Get out to have a great time. And Newbies 2 on the Curve, the place to watch all sports. Baseball. Pretty much baseball now. It must be on except baseball. College.
What about the new UFL? Can you watch it?
You can. Yeah, that's true. I watched a couple plays the other day, and I turned it real quick, and it didn't turn me on.
I want to watch it, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you're at Newbies too, it doesn't matter. Just have a great time, shoot some pool, watch some TV, and just have a great time down there. And tell them Coach sent you. All right, Chad, FSU. We all know Florida State knocks it out of the ballpark. 10 players drafted. Central Florida, one of Chad's lovely places. Florida and Miami combined had 70 picks. The FSU had 10. Take that. Take that.
All right, the 10 picks for Florida State. First round, number 19 pick is Jared Verse. He goes to L.A. Keon Coleman was the first pick of the second round. Then you had Braden Fisk. He was the 7th pick of the second round. Renardo Green was the 32nd pick of the second round, and then Trey Benson dropped all the way to the third round. Surprises me a little bit. I think a lot of Trey Benson.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's a very good running back. So maybe
running back's not as value as they used to be. I mean, nobody was drafted in the first round.
Yeah, and so anyway, he's third round, second pick, Trey Benson. 32nd pick of the third round was Jerrion Jones. And then Jordan Travis down here, 5th round, 36th pick. I think he's probably a better quarterback than the 5th round. So anyway, I think somebody got a discount right here. I think the Jets got a discount in Jordan Travis. I think it's a very good pick for them. He's a smart kid. We'll see what he does with it. Johnny Wilson, which I don't know. That seems, some of this seems a little low for me. He went 6th round, the 9th pick of the 6th round. I think Johnny Wilson's an excellent wide receiver. But, that's my opinion, right?
Right. I'd like to go back when you get a second to go over your quarterback pick when you get a chance. Keep going. Let's make sure we come
So, 7th round, there were 2 chosen in the 7th round. At the 11th spot in the 7th round, Jaheim Bell goes to New England Patriots, and then the 31st pick is Tatum Bethune, went to the San Francisco 49ers. So anyway, that's the 2024 draft for Florida State Seminoles, congratulations to them. They had 10 picks. I mean, 2023 they had 1, and 2022 they had 1.
It's like Bobby Bowden's back in his coaching.
It's, Norvell's a good coach. I said it when they hired him.
Yeah.
Everybody had their questions. I had been watching him at Memphis. Mike Norvell's a very good coach.
You did say that.
Yep.
And didn't that official guy that knew him too said he was good? The guy that officiates?
He thought he was pretty good as well.
Well, go back to the quarterback.
Okay, Jordan Travis.
5th round, right?
Yeah, 5th round, 36th pick in the 5th round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at this statistics here. Michigan quarterback, pretty good. 13 draft picks. They're in the playoffs. He was first-round draft pick, correct?
Yeah, the Michigan quarterback. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to number 2, Texas. 11 picks in the NFL draft. They made the playoffs. Their quarterback's really good. He will be a high draft pick next year. I guarantee it'll be higher than 5th round. Then you go to Washington. They had tied FSU with 10 picks in the draft. They had 10. Washington's quarterback went in the 1st round, correct?
Yeah.
So he's pretty good. Alabama's quarterback, Melrose. Do you think he will go? I think he will go before the 5th round of the draft next year. I don't think he's going in the 1st round, but some people have him. They already have out a preseason 2025 draft pick. They have the players coming out. Deion's son is number 1 at quarterback position coming out, and I do believe somebody had Melrose in the 1st round. I don't see that.
Well, you and I see Milroe. We see Milroe like we did last year. If DeBoer is able to develop Milroe into the quarterback that he's capable of being, I think, then he might go in the 1st round.
He did a pretty good job with the quarterback at Washington.
He might be really dangerous. Yeah.
And the reason I was getting to all that, FSU was right there with all these other 5 teams. There are 5 of them: Michigan 13, Texas 11, Alabama 10, FSU 10, Washington 10. But their quarterback was injured, and if he wouldn't have been injured, evidently the professionals don't think he was good at these other 4 teams that did get in. What I'm getting at, you got to have a quarterback. You got to have a really good quarterback to win it all, I think.
Absolutely, always.
But it's just interesting to me. I'm just looking at it's amazing. The top 5 teams with all the draft picks, 4 of them got in, and the 5th one should have been in. They were undefeated, didn't lose a game, and didn't get in.
And it was because of their quarterback. He's injured. And then look how far he fell in the draft.
Off the draft, yeah.
Yeah, he'd have been higher in the draft, I think. And the injuries do that, unfortunately. Just watching Jordan Travis handle all that at the end of the season and just his whole attitude, he's going to do well in life. I'm not too worried about him, even here at a 5th round draft pick.
Do they have any kind of indication how many they will have next year? I know it's really early. I do know the preseason stuff. It just came out yesterday. The draft's over. They come up with some list. But gives you something to talk about.
I mean, another one. I mean, I really think Johnny Wilson way down in the draft. I would have thought he'd have been a little bit higher.
What do you think that was about?
I don't know.
We'll ask our expert tomorrow, Jim Durant. He'll know all this stuff.
He probably will. And it probably had to do with how they did in the combine and that kind of thing. I mean, some of them have some stats you can look at in the combine. I mean, so here he is. Here's Johnny Wilson. Here's his verified results. He ran the 40 in 4.52 seconds. The shuttle in 4.11 seconds. Vertical 37 inches and broad jump.
This says height and weight.
Let's see. His height is 6 foot 6.5 inches, and he weighs 231.
Yeah, pretty good for a big boy.
I don't know. I just felt like he was a really good wide receiver to go that low. But hey, it
is what it is.
I'm
not
picking him.
Yep. He'll be fine.
Yep.
Chad, thank you for the FSU update. 10 players drafted. Congratulations, FSU. Great job. And we'll have more on this as the week goes on. Let's talk about some of our great people. We just talked about newbies for the FSU update. Really, get out and have a great time. Newbies Chewing the Curve, watching all sporting events. Newbies, the mothership, the best bands in the Southeast because Charlotte wants it to be, and she gets what she wants. And a great thing about newbies, John and Charlotte always giving back to the community. Let's go support them. 3 great locations on Panama City Beach, the legendary Mothership. They also play bingo there now. Get newbies, have a great time. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. 5 minutes can save your life. And he also has offices throughout Northwest Florida. And you can listen to him every Wednesday at 7:30. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. I went by there yesterday at Pier Park. And Jason was not there, but a great young man was. Had a good time, good visit. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Go see Jay. Try it before you buy it. What's your favorite product down there?
Well, recently, he's got this OCBD ointment stuff for aching joints and muscles and things like that, and it's on a little roller like deodorant is.
Yeah.
It's not sticky. It's not stinky. You rub it on there and voila, man.
It's like getting in a hot tub.
Voila.
Beef O'Brady's in Lynn You want a great meal today? I will be there tomorrow. I'm going to have lunch there tomorrow. They have great food, great atmosphere, but on Wednesday, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. I like that Cuban sandwich. Matter of fact, that's what I'm getting. It's really good. We'll be right back. Chad Mitchell, what's going on with Florida? Not much for his NFL draft, Chad. What's up with that?
We'll talk about it.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 14 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast, and look for the high to be 79. Tonight, there will be a variety of slight fog and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 69. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
The Atlanta Braves are back with a loaded roster of young talent and some new faces in the A. It's going to be another wild season.
3-1 hit high in the air to deep center field. Here it comes. Home run right over the wall.
Tonight, the Braves head west for some late night baseball as Ozzie Albies and the Braves roll into T-Mobile Park to take on the Seattle Mariners.
Coverage starts at 7:25. First pitch 8:40. Right here on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, "Take us to your leader," you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Bill Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hard to get good help these days.
He's off his game today.
Yeah, I think it's time to take that Yellow Brick Road.
The Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah. I need to see the odds. I think it's time.
Oh.
Well, it was a good weekend. We didn't have to release our flying monkeys, so we're okay. Anyway, we're back live. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Chad Mitchell in the building. What do you got for us today on the Florida Gators? We're so used to them having a lot of draft picks. The receiver did a great job, first-round draft pick. But we're expecting more from Florida. You stole
my thunder a little bit.
Okay,
I was going to tell you,
I will shut up.
Florida had at least one first-round draft pick since 2020.
Which is outstanding.
And they do it again here in 2024 with Ricky Pearsall, 31st pick in the first round. He's going to San Francisco. I think San Francisco got a great pick. This is a player that you love to watch play. One-handed catches. Just he's a great wide receiver.
He can snag it now.
He can, and he's just so much fun to watch. So he's going to be fun to watch in the NFL as well. So I think San Francisco, San Francisco did a really good job.
I know Russ is happy down there at David Adams, Missouri. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, San Francisco, trying to win the Super Bowl and all, and they get somebody like Ricky Pearsall. That's a win to me. For them. So I think they did pretty well with that. So they've had the other, just to talk about this, a little bit of Florida Gators draft history here. So Ricky Pearsall this year's first round. Last year, first round was Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, that turned out pretty good.
Yeah. And then I always struggle with his name a little bit. In 2022, the first round draft pick was Kair Elam. I hope I'm saying his name right. I always mess it up. In 2021, you had two. You had Kyle Pitts, who was a tight end, and you had Kadarius Toney, who was a wide receiver, or is a wide receiver. And in 2020, there was C.J. Henderson, who was a defensive back.
Great player.
And then prior to that, so 2019, they go without a number one pick. But then in 2018, 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, they all had number one draft pick, or had first round draft picks in those years. Skip 2012, where they had a fourth and fifth round draft picks. And then 2011 and back for a few years, they had number one draft picks.
Yeah.
First round draft picks, I should say, not number one.
When Myers was there and Spurrier was there, they had a lot of draft picks. A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Florida's the state of Florida, and you're the Florida Gators, you should have a lot of guys drafted.
You should. And I think there's some disappointment that there aren't a couple of other Florida players that got drafted. Plus they're an SEC team. You just anticipate that they're going to have at least two or three.
Right.
Well, they didn't this year for whatever reason. And anyway, hopefully they're going to, Napier's going to turn that team around and get some of the talent, not only get them up to the level where they need to play, but, get them noticed for, future play in the NFL.
Absolutely, Chad.
So the only thing else we have for Florida update, since we don't have a lot of players to talk about with that, is the softball and baseball. We'll look at the baseball here for a minute. The Florida Gators baseball team is now 22-21. They're struggling compared to what we expected.
Yeah.
They're 9-12 in the SEC, which is, I think, a disappointment for them and their fans. So the unranked Gators lose 2 of 3 this weekend to number 2 Arkansas. So, hey, they were playing number 2 Arkansas.
Brutal.
They won one of those games. So Friday they lost 2-1. Saturday they lost 6-5. Sunday they pulled out the win 9-5. This Tuesday they're at home versus Florida Atlantic. And then Thursday, it's a brutal schedule, right? Thursday they pick up a 3-game series with number 3 Tennessee. So that's Florida baseball. Moving on to Florida softball. A little more positive news here. The number 13 Lady Gators are 39-12. They're 14-7 in the Southeastern Conference. They did lose to FSU early last week, losing 12-3. That was early in the week. But then this weekend series at number 10 Georgia, they took 2 of 3. So Friday winning 9-1, Saturday losing 11-6, and Sunday winning 10-7. The Lady Gators softball have their next game at number 16 FSU, and they finish out the regular season with a weekend series versus number 9 Texas A&M.
Go Aggies. Go Gators.
go Aggies. I guess the Aggies are an SEC team. Anyway, they're, well, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it kind of shocks me about baseball this year. They're always good. We thought they were going to be really good this year. And I don't know, it's pitching. It's a little bit of everything, really and truly. But one team that we failed to mention earlier, their program, Florida State, turned it around, and Florida has gone in the wrong direction.
Yeah, they have. In fact, I mean, we keep talking
about how tough their schedule is, but everybody else in the SEC plays more or less that same schedule. It's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. I think,
But they all are.
Florida's got some unfortunate things going on with them, so
Well, there's help coming. There's two boys from Bay County.
They're sure, and they're pretty good too.
They got another year of high school though.
Yeah,
That's
do.
Crazy, unbelievable. Yeah, FSU. If you got time, talk about FSU baseball.
Yeah, so FSU baseball's 34-9. They're 13-8 in the ACC. They're ranked number 10, and they beat Duke 2 out of the 3 this weekend. Duke's number 6. They won Friday 4-2. Saturday, the Seminoles won 7-6, and Sunday they lost 16-4. And their next setup is the weekend series with North Carolina State. And then if you look at FSU softball, they are 40-10 overall, 18-3 in the ACC. They're ranked number 16. And, of course, we mentioned it during the Florida softball segment there a second ago that number 13, the number 16 Lady Seminoles beat the number 13 Florida Gators on Wednesday 12-3. And then the Lady Seminoles extended their winning streak to 14 games by winning all 3 versus North Carolina this weekend, winning Friday 13-3, Saturday 11-3, and Sunday winning 2-1. Their next Florida State softball game is versus number 13 Florida, and then they end the regular season with a series at Syracuse.
All right. I want to go back to the SEC draft. We talked about Florida, 1 player drafted. Alabama had 10. Georgia had 8. LSU and Missouri each had 6. Auburn Tigers had 5 players drafted. South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Kentucky had 4. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Tennessee had 3. Arkansas 2. And Florida's 1, correct?
Yeah, and UCF 2.
Thank you, Chad. Vandy did not have anyone selected.
Oh.
Now, let's go look at the overall picture of college football. These are we already talked about the top 5. And out of the top 5, 2 from the Big Ten, Michigan and Washington, and 2 from the SEC, Texas and Alabama. Oregon, now the next ones, Oregon, Georgia, and Penn State, they all tied with 8 drafted. So there you go again, Oregon, Big Ten, Georgia, SEC, Penn State, Big Ten. Then it goes to independent Notre Dame with 9 selected. Then Clemson had 6 selected. USC had 7. Auburn had 5. Missouri had, I'm going to go back. Southern Cal had 7, like Notre Dame. Missouri had 6. LSU had 6. Clemson had 6. Auburn had 5. And now, let's look at the teams. The SEC had a total of 59 players drafted. For 18 straight years, they're number 1. And that's taking out Texas and Oklahoma players. Pac-12, which includes USC, Oregon, Washington, you take them out, the Big Ten jumps through the board. But Pac-12 had 43, came in second. That league is dead, gone, and buried. Then it's the Big Ten with 42. Again, add Washington, Oregon, UCLA, then it jumps up there. ACC had 41 drafted. The Big 12 had 31. Independents, you had 8 total. Sun Belt had 5. The American Conference had 5. U.S. Conference USA had 3. Mountain West 2. And the MAC had 2. So you look where all the players are coming from, the percentages are crazy. They're all coming from the Super League, which will be here in 2016, I do believe, and that's the Big Ten and the SEC. And got to give the Big Ten credit. They've got 2 extra schools when you add in the 4 that are coming in, they're in now. And we've got 2 coming in, Texas and Oklahoma. We still beat them. You believe that? We still beat them. They got two more. They got more teams than we do. It just means more, Jim Brett. It just means a lot more. It means it's almost time for the Alabama update. Let's talk about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. If you love pizza, that's the only place you want to go. Paparazzi on Thomas Drive. Oh, my goodness. The pizza's unbelievable. Try the bakery. It's incredible. The Paradise Cake, the Napoleon, the Carrot Cake, the Chocolate Cake. They got everything there is unbelievable. Lasagna, yes.
My favorite place, the bar.
Yeah, the bar's nice.
The new bar.
Yes, it is. It's good. Usually has spaghetti when you're sitting in that bar. Go check it out. Paparazzi. And Big John's retired police officer. That reason alone need to be there. Get out to Beef O'Brady's. Have a wonderful time, especially on Wednesday. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm getting a Napoleon. You going to meet me over there? You meet me over there about 11?
You buying?
You going to meet me over there about 11? I can't. These mics are weird. I can't hear very well
I
today.
evaded that question.
Turpo Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely gorgeous. Pat can make it happen. Give Patrick a call. His crew will come out. Your yard look absolutely beautiful. Hey, we mentioned Russ a minute ago. The 49ers. Florida's got their receiver going there.
Yeah.
Russ is going to be happy.
I don't know what he thinks about that.
He'll be happy.
I got to stop in there. I've got some jewelry I'm going to take over there.
Yes, you do.
And get it appraised.
What are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
We're talking about David Adamson Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue, 830 Highway 77, depending on how you read the signs. Right over there in Lynn Haven. They're open 5-6 days a week. You can take jewelry over there, get it appraised. You can get it fixed. You can get it cleaned. You can sell it to them if you want to trade it and get something.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Everything's right there.
Chad got a couple rings made there that are outstanding.
Yeah, I like
had them designed.
I like that one he's got in his lip.
Yeah, I like the new that little nose, that little gold nose ring.
The one in his lip.
Does your wife like that nose ring? Oh, you got it out right now. We people can't see.
Here we go.
He won't wear it to work. He wears it on the weekend.
Everybody that knows me knows you're so full of it. John, give me my boots. No, that's what I meant. Give me my boots, John.
We'll be right back. Alabama Crimson Tide, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control, Store More Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Billburg Kia, and Mid-South Lumber.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 14 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast, and look for the high to be 79. Tonight, there will be a variety of slight fog and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 69. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
Roll Tide Roll. Alabama update. Brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Anytime, day or night, they're there for you. It feels pretty good in here right now. Stevenson Air Conditioning, they do an incredible job. Locally owned. Jason does a wonderful job. Got a great family there. Families involved in it. Great employees. They do an incredible job. One of the most honest men I know. If you got one and it's just it continues to run, your house doesn't get warm in the winter, it doesn't get cooled down in the summer, your power bill's going through the roof, it's time to call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They come out, and they're not going to oversell you. I know this for a fact because he could have ripped me off, and he didn't. I didn't know him from Adam. I told him I wanted the biggest unit you got. I want this air to knock down the walls when it comes on. I want something to cool out fast. And he said, Coach, you don't need that. This is what you need for the size of this house. This is what you need to get. I'll sell you that other one if you really want it, but you do not need that. You don't need to do that. I would not do that.
And you better call him now.
And I said, thank you, sir. Late. And I didn't. Yeah, he's a very honest guy. They do great work, Stevenson Air Conditioning. And get the one you have now, get it serviced right now, right before summer, and then again right before winter. It lasts longer, and you save money on your power bill because they come out and they service it. But if you got one that's old, it's one of the few things you can buy over a period of time. It'll pay for itself because you save so much money every month in your power bill. All right, Alabama, Nick Saban's new job. People were talking about it. I thought he did a great. Chad, you get to watch him at all?
I did not.
He did a great job, man. I tell you what, the insight, the man is incredible. He knows every single position. He's coached 50 years, a combination of college and NFL, knows every single position, and he made history with the kicker getting drafted or somebody. Yeah, he's had a player at every single position drafted. No other coach has done that.
Wow.
We're talking every offense position, offensive line, tight end, receiver, running back, quarterback,
special teams.
everyone. Every defense, inside, outside linebackers, defensive line, secondary, corner safeties, the whole works. Now every special team guy. Snapper, holder, kicker, everybody has done it. The guy's incredible. 50 years, he got it done.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's impressive.
But I was so impressed with he talked about all the different players. He knew their strengths, knew their weaknesses, and everything he said was backed up when they started doing this, I call it, film study when they're showing on TV. He's going over things. The guy is incredible. And I've seen him in person at coaching clinics. The guy is incredible. But other players were talking about him. Other players that he talked about him. They were all impressed with him. He showed a kind of a human side to him. You know, guess what he had as a snack when they hang food for him there? Guess what he had for a snack?
What?
Little Debbie's. That oatmeal cookie that he eats, he pulled out one and had one of those.
Had one in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He did a great job. But let's talk more about Nick Saban. What did Nick Saban do at Alabama? It's incredible. The living legend. He's a living legend. Saban produced 133 draft picks since 2009.
Wow.
There's a lot of coaches that didn't produce half that.
Sure.
Of course, he was at Alabama. Most of the most of any other program during that time frame is Nick Saban in Alabama. Alabama has had at least one out of the last 7 draft picks go for Alabama's had at least one first-round draft pick in the seven picks. Wait a minute. Let me start. I did this. I got to read my writing.
They got first-round draft picks all the way back to 2014.
Alabama's had a first 7 picks in the NFL draft, first round. That's what I was trying to say. 13 straight years. Alabama has 10 drafted in 5 of the last 8 drafts, 10 players drafted. 2017, 19, 2021, 2023, 2024 all had 10 players drafted. Saban has now produced as many NFL draft picks at every single position like I just talked about a minute ago. What did he do at Alabama as a coach with that talent? Did he do a pretty good job developing the talent? I would say yes.
I would say yes.
I thought he did a great job. Maybe quarterback position, we had Jalen leave and look better at Oklahoma than did Alabama. I don't know. Maybe if you're going to have anything negative to say, maybe the development of the quarterback's not as good as maybe at some other schools.
I don't know if I believe that or not. But here's some of the things Nick Saban did at the University of Alabama. 4 Heisman Trophy winners. You know how many Heisman Trophy winners Alabama had before he got there?
1.
0.
No, they had 1. Didn't they have 1?
No.
Oh,
0.
I'm thinking of something else.
He had 76 first-team All-Americans. 76 first-team All-Americans. Again, he had 133 NFL players drafted. He had 47 first-round draft picks. These are all records, by the way. His record at Alabama, 201 wins, 29 losses. He won 10 SEC West titles. He won 9 SEC titles. He won 6 national championships. He won 1 at LSU for a grand total of 7. He is the GOAT, and now he is doing an outstanding job on ESPN and ABC, and game day is coming to a city near you this fall, and Nick Saban will be doing it, and he'll be doing a great job. I thought he knocked out the ballpark. I thought he did a great job. He's intelligent. He's knowledgeable. And he had a good personality. He did a great job. A lot of people didn't see that personality before. They got to see a little bit of it with the 3 days with the NFL draft. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, Greg McElroy has told some stories about Coach Saban, and a lot of people don't realize that he does have a side that he shows the players that he cares about them. And McElroy said, I'll put it to you this way. Coach gives you what you need in the moment. If you make a bonehead play and it's like, what were you thinking? And you messed up, he's in you. He's chewing you. Okay. And he goes, that's what some players need to make them better. And he says, but there's other times where everything you're doing just, it's not your fault. You're giving it 110% effort and just things are just not working out like they're supposed to. He said he's the guy that will come over and put his arm around you and say, having a tough day.
Yeah.
So, what can we do to help you? So McElroy says he does have that side.
Yeah.
We just you see at game day where all the pressure and the tension there and he's yelling. And my favorite was the interview with Terry and Arnold. I don't know if you saw that last year. It just cracked me up because Terry and Arnold's got such a great attitude anyway. But he goes, and they were asking him about Coach Saban getting mad after one of those games. He goes, man, like I was coming off that field and I was looking at like, boy, somebody's fixing to get it. And said all of a sudden it's directed at me. Like, whoa, wait a minute, it's me.
What I do?
And he says, but Terry and Arnold's response was, you know what? He knows that I can take that type of coaching and that I need that type of coaching sometimes. Yeah. That was what Terry and Arnold said.
Yeah.
Look at him. I mean, he got drafted.
A little bit wealthier today than he was before.
I mean, Terry and Arnold,
And we've got the money. If we have time, we'll get into that later. We got the money these players are making, and it's incredible. And he's right. He always says the NIL money's nothing. The money you make in the NFL changes people's lives, and it does. It's outstanding. Alabama baseball. Thursday, they won. They beat Ole Miss 12-0. And then Friday, Ole Miss put it on Alabama. Ole Miss wins 9-0. And then Saturday, Alabama wins 10-3, beats Ole Miss. So two out of three, Alabama over Ole Miss. This week, Alabama overall record 9-12 in the SEC, 28-16 overall. And this week, Alabama is at, who they got this week? Alabama plays Mississippi State Friday, May 3rd, 6 o'clock, and then Saturday at 2 o'clock they play Mississippi State, and then Sunday at 1 o'clock they play Mississippi State. So hopefully they can get some wins. They need them, and we'll see what happens in Hoover, and that is coming faster than I can believe. We'll have more on Alabama and the players that were selected yesterday. Dallas Turner not going number one off Alabama's board surprised me. Our offensive lineman went number one, and I think the 7th overall pick.
It's okay. I mean, Dallas Turner went 17th.
Yeah, and the money they're making.
Pick. They're making. Terry and Arnold 24th. I would love to be those picks. I wish I had that talent.
You did. You just didn't. You just didn't develop it like you should have.
Oh, here we go.
Lazy skills, negative results. I mean, negative thinking, negative results.
Sister
You made
video
that
of
choice,
her
Chad.
shit.
Every day when you didn't get up out of that bed and went to work, you made that choice.
I wake up every day, John.
At
Just
night, laying in bed, eating them Coca-Colas.
What can I do to please Coach Hale? What can I do? Just every day I wake up that way.
Hey, I gave up a long.
I used to call him and I said, Chad, put that moon pie up and put them colas up and let's get up and go run. No, Chad's All-American, no doubt. We're getting back. We got the Auburn Tigers. Let's talk about some of our great people. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive, the best seafood, the coldest beer you can get anywhere. And South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. Nobody does a better job than Chuck Tucker and South Oak Title and Closing for your needs. Ask Mark Cowart. Mark Cowart on 30A, one of the top salesmen in the Southeast. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one, not even close. And we will be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
About your past.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
Is that a true story that you gave Time magazine away as Halloween, like for trick-or-treaters? Is that an actual Jay story?
You caught me. You caught the tater. You caught the tater. I don't know if you've been in Jay's truck recently, but it's just got Time magazines in the back of it, just waiting for October to come around.
Middays 11 to 1. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 14 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast, and look for the high to be 79. Tonight, there will be a variety of slight fog and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 69. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
I'm kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Martha, Kenny, James Gualma, and beautiful Jenna Gualma. Auburn Update is brought to you by B4 Braves in Lynn Haven, and I think I'll be there tomorrow around 11. Wildcats turn to pay, so I think I will go. The Reuben sandwich is great. Everything's good there. Everything. You hear me? Yeah. We got some of those chips.
And for once, I believe you.
Yeah, let's get some of those chips. You get some onion rings.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get the drinks.
The water.
Here you go. No,
it's good for you. Water's good for you.
You know, Pat's the city commissioner at Lynn Haven, does a great job.
Field said, "What? I don't drink water. Fish make love in it."
This is a family show, by the way. It was. But anyway, getting back to Pat, it was a great and he will continue to be a great city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Does a great job. Thank you, Chad. Get out of B4 Braves, have a great time. Auburn. All right, I'm going to tell you what. If you don't think Auburn's an elite job, you're wrong. Auburn is a great college football job. Hugh Freeze, as bad as Auburn was last year, especially on the offense side of the ball, and at times they weren't very good on either side of the ball in New Mexico State,
They got beat up front pretty badly on both sides of the ball in that one particular game. But let's look at Auburn. They had as bad as it was, they had 5 players drafted. Only 4 other teams in the SEC had more teams drafted than Auburn. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and Missouri. I think it was Missouri. They had more than Auburn. So Auburn, when they get this thing rolling, and I think they'll get it back pretty quick. I think it's on Hugh Freeze. Year 2, it's time to see some improvement. It's time to recruit better. They've done it. Look what they're bringing in. But this is a great job. Look what they've done in the past. This year, 5 guys were drafted. Auburn, you can win the SEC championship. They've done that several times. You can win a national championship. Last national championship they won was back in 2010, so it can be done at Auburn. And you got to have a coach. You got to have the resources, and you got to have the backing. You got it all there at Auburn. NIL money, they're knocking out of the ballpark right now. They just signed 5 of the best receivers. They got 5 of the best receivers coming in. Their receiver room is going to be extremely young, but extremely talented. They got the great receiver from Penn State. He was either going to go to Auburn or Texas A&M. He comes to Auburn. First-round draft picks in SEC history. Auburn is 5th out of all the teams in the SEC. I'm telling you, this is an elite job. They are 5th first-round draft picks. Number 1 is Alabama in the history of the SEC, 52 first-round draft picks. LSU is also number 1 with 52 NFL draft picks at number 1. That's
not shocking.
Yeah, I mean, that's great states.
They've had some great players.
And I'm telling you right now, in the future, from now on out, especially with Georgia Tech, if they don't get in the SEC, they still in a smaller conference. Georgia, the way they develop players there, the high school coaches there, that state's going to produce unbelievable players, and Kirby Smart recruiting will do it. But Georgia is next with 49, and then Tennessee with 47, Texas A&M with 36, and then the Auburn Tigers with 32. 32 first-round draft picks. Most college football programs with the most running backs drafted in the history of the SEC, or maybe it's the country. Yeah, it's the country. Where's Auburn? Auburn's also 5th there. What I'm getting at, look at all the things that's happened in the past. Look what's getting ready to happen in the future. I think you got the right head ball coach, and I think good things are going to happen. Number 1 running backs program, running back U right now, Alabama, number 1 in the nation, 18 running backs. Number 2, LSU, 16. Georgia, number 3, 15. And number 4, USC, 14. And then Auburn Tigers are at number 5, 12 players from Auburn. They're 5th in the country producing running backs. So, again, Auburn, Hugh Freeze. Hugh, it's time to get this thing rolling. Now, they did the latest top 25 coaches going into 2024. Guess what? Hugh Freeze was not on that list. Did that surprise you, Chad? He's not on the list of the top 25 coaches. He's being paid a lot of money. His pay's up there in the top 10%, but he's not in the top 25 by these experts, top 25 coach.
I think he is. I think it won't be long before he will be. Let's put it that way.
Here are the schools that are ahead of him in the SEC. Georgia. He is the king right now of college football.
Yeah, Kirby Smart. Yeah.
And Alabama's guy, he was ranked 2nd, 3rd, 4th, somewhere around there, all the different ones. This one particular one, but DeBoer was 2nd. Then you got Stark at Texas. You got Tennessee's head coach, Missouri's head coach. They all made the top 25 list, but Auburn's head coach, Hugh Freeze, did not. So we got to work on that. Hugh Freeze, after this year, I think will be there. I think Auburn's going to be pretty good this year. All right, I'm really proud of this. I always cut down Montgomery. I'm teasing half the time. I'm from Montgomery, proud of it. And every time a player comes out and does some good things, like I talk about it. Montgomery native Marcus Harris, picked by the Texans in the 2024 NFL Draft. 7th round, 247th pick, the former Auburn defensive tackle. You know what school he played for in Montgomery, Alabama? It was not Robert E. Lee, which they've changed the name there. Shame on you people in Montgomery. And it was not a kid he didn't play at Lanier High School. They've changed that name. Shame on Montgomery. He's not from Carver. They kept that name. They're not from Jeff Davis. I think they changed that name also. But he's from the new school in Montgomery. It's out Pike Road.
A new school or an old school with a new name?
No, it's a new school. It's down Pike Road.
Confusing me with all that.
Park Crossing. He played high school football there. He has 7 sacks. He had 40 tackles at Auburn, 11 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. He transferred to Auburn from Kansas in 2021. So anyway, I'm proud of that. I'm glad the guy from Montgomery's doing well. I'm glad he got drafted. Hopefully he can play in the NFL. Hopefully he makes the team, and hopefully he'll play for a long time.
So you'll be keeping an eye on him.
I will. Marcus Harris, I will keep an eye on him. Montgomery has turned out some really good. Terry Beasley, back when I grew up watching the city high school teams play, he played at Robert E. Lee. He was unbelievable. He was a great All-American, All-SEC receiver at Auburn with Pat Sullivan, the Heisman Trophy used to throw to him. They've turned out a lot of good players from Montgomery. Barstar, Lanier High School, Montgomery, Alabama. Johnny Davis, Lanier High School,
it's
Montgomery,
a shame
Alabama.
They didn't do so good with coaches, though.
I like it, John. I like it.
I had to get him at least once. I love you, Coach. Love you.
I'm trying to
show.
Hey, wait. They prepare coaches in Montgomery to be on the radio.
I'm trying to do an Auburn update professionally.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And I got 2 people who have been very rude to me. Anyway, Byron Braggs played in the NFL, played on Alabama's national championship team. He played at Carver. I mean, they've had a list like you would not believe coming to that city that can play ball. Jeff Davis High School had a load of them. Mike Brock played at Jeff Davis, played at Alabama. He's one of the top returners in the country. The guy does a great job. Auburn, baseball. I tell you what, baseball, we're taking on the chin. Auburn is not playing very well. The coach had talked before the bats have been cold. We've had problems scoring points, scoring runs. Auburn's only 2-18 in 20. They're 20-22 overall. They just got another win Sunday, so they're 21-22. Friday, April 26th, LSU 5, Auburn zip. And then Saturday, LSU 3, Auburn 2. And I believe Sunday, Auburn did beat LSU, so they lost 2 out of 3 to the Fighting Tigers. Coming up for Auburn, I'll talk more about this tomorrow. Auburn baseball, they will play Ole Miss Friday, May 3rd, 6 o'clock. And then they'll play again on Saturday, May 4th. They'll play a game at 7 o'clock. And the last game against Ole Miss will be Sunday, May 5th. And they'll first pitch of that ball game will be 3 o'clock. So Auburn's baseball, disappointing. And again, everybody in the SEC's got to play each other, so the records aren't going to be that good because everybody is really good in the SEC. You got to be very fortunate to win a lot of games in that league. You got to be really good to do that. But anyway, I'm excited about Auburn football with Hugh Freeze, what the job he's done in recruiting. They've got a lot of guys. I haven't been over much of it lately, but they've got a lot of guys that are transferring in. They've lost some players, but they're bringing in some really good quality players, some big defensive linemen they got. So things are going good for Auburn right now. I'm looking forward to it. I do believe next year is going to be good for Auburn. Schedule's tough, so everybody's scheduling the SEC football stuff. But I think they're going to do a good job. I really do. If the offensive lineman can protect the quarterback, and that's the key, who's going to be the quarterback. If Thorne has been playing forever, can develop and do well, Hugh Freeze has done it before, develop quarterbacks, Auburn's offense will be good. If Auburn's offense is going to be good, Auburn's going to be good. Looking forward to watching football next year and seeing what happens for the Auburn Tigers. And get out to B4 Braves, have a great time. No doubt about that. Pat does a great job down there. Go check them out. Paparazzi Pizza. You love pizza. The only place you go is Paparazzi. They got the best bakery in Delhi around. Paparazzi right there on Thomas Drive. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. The Buckeye Boys will be here tomorrow. Jason and Jim will be here tomorrow. Look forward to that. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. 5 minutes can save your life. And get out to one of the 3 newbies. Have a great time. Newbies too on the curve to go watch all sporting events. And the mothership, the best out there, the legendary newbies. Go have a great time. Tell them Coach sent you. You want your yard to look beautiful? It can happen. Pack and make it. Turf Pro Pest Control, #1. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN. Northwest Florida. Chad Mitchell. Wildcat.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we 3 willing in the 4 with the ghosties. Oh, why do I live this way? Hey, must be the money. If you wanna go and get Hold me, smoke it in the back of the Benzie. Oh,
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
John, you don't like it, but you seem to be, you don't seem to miss too many episodes.
That's because I am trying to talk sense into the program.
No, John, you're a hate monger.
Paul, let me tell you this. You need to grow up. Bye-bye.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing. He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Chad Mitchell in the house, a Wildcat behind the board there. And we hope you have a wonderful day. The weather's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Great weekend. This week's supposed to be really nice. I don't think we have any chance for severe weather or anything.
Is the air show going to be flying over your house? Saturday and Sunday? The air show that's coming to town. Big air show.
I heard a lot of air just then coming out of one of his ears over here on
Thank you, Chad.
Is that the air show you were talking about?
Yeah.
I thought it was in Pensacola.
No, it's going to be here on the beach.
Who is? I don't know anything about it.
Oh, God. A bunch of people that just tour around and do air shows with private. There's going to be F-22s, F-35s. The Blue Angels.
Are the Blue Angels going to be here?
Yes, sir.
No, but I want to see that.
The Air Force's Blue Angels.
Yeah, I like to see that.
It's going to be this weekend.
I hope they're very careful. I live close to the beach. Be very, very careful and go slow.
And go slow.
No, don't go slow.
Go slow.
Yeah. No loud noises. Oh, my God. All right, let's get. Thank you for interrupting me. Now I don't know what the heck I'm talking. I know what I'm talking about.
We're going to look at Miami.
Let's look at the Miami Hurricanes' toughest schedule. Chad, before I want you to go over the schedule. But before you even go over it, I'm going to tell you the toughest teams they got to play, okay? Week 1 against Florida is going to be a tough physical football game on both sides.
Yeah, for
That's going to
both
be
teams,
a great team. That's an FSU at home. It's going to be really tough. And the next game, I think they have 3 really tough football games at Louisville. Watch it. Louisville people are quietly. Louisville's the 4th-ranked transfer class right now. The guy can coach. Yep. Mark Ivy's also coaching with him. That's good. And the other team, I would say, don't forget about Georgia Tech. They beat them last year there. They didn't take a knee. But Georgia Tech's quarterback's coming back. I think that's their four toughest games. If they don't win 8 games, at least 8 games with this schedule they're playing, I think Coach is going to be in trouble. Cristobal, go over their 2024 football schedule.
So obviously the first game, August 31st, is at Florida, so in the swamp.
Tough game.
Tough game, okay. Yep. But Florida's been struggling too. So I think this is a really good start to the season for both of these teams.
Yes.
Whoever wins this game is going to have the better season.
Yes.
Florida A&M is the next weekend, September 7th. Then you have Ball State. Then you're
2 wins right there.
Yeah. Then they're at South Florida. South Florida sometimes can trip you up, but they should win that game.
They should win. That's 3 wins. That's 3 right there, right?
Yeah. And then they have Virginia Tech at home on a Friday night.
That's 4 to me.
And then they're at Cal, so they got to travel all the way out to Cal.
They should beat Cal. They got better players. That's 5 wins there, I would say.
Then they have an open week before they play Louisville. And then they're at Louisville, so that's October 19th. They're playing Louisville.
I think they're going to lose that game.
And then the next game after that's Florida State. So you think they're going to have 2 back-to-back losses?
I think they're 5-3 at that point. I don't think they're going to beat Florida.
Yeah,
I think Florida's going to shock everybody.
I think Florida may shock everybody. I think you're right. So they have Florida State on October 26th. Then they play Duke.
That's a win.
November the 2nd.
That's 6.
I wouldn't count Duke out. I mean, there have been seasons where Duke has played pretty well.
Wildcat, that's 6. Okay, remember I told him here today.
If they lose to Duke, I'm going to remind him.
Well, they could fall apart after losing back-to-back games.
Right, well, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at, yeah.
Yeah, but just looking at roster, I think they should win that game.
Then they're at Georgia Tech.
What do you think?
Well, Georgia Tech hadn't been all that great.
Their quarterback's good.
I know.
Their coach is good.
Right.
Georgia Tech's going to be better than people think.
It just depends on how they come out.
Who wins the game?
It's a toss-up for me.
I'm going to go Miami close.
Miami
I got
close.
them 7-3 right now.
Well, they're playing in Atlanta, so I mean, I'll pick Georgia Tech on that one.
Okay, so you got them 6-3. I mean,
something like
6 and 4. You got them 6 and 4.
Yeah.
I got them 7-3. Okay, go ahead.
Then they play Wake Forest and Syracuse to end out the.
I got them 9-3. I got Florida. I got Miami going.
See, I think they're going to be more like 8-4.
8-4. Okay,
Yeah.
Experts say 8-4.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, you're an expert.
So I'm in line with the experts.
You lined up with them. I got a feeling this is going to be a better year.
Well,
for
if they're
them.
9-3, here's what I'll say: if they go 9-3, they beat Florida first at the beginning of the season to make that 9.
See, I got them losing to Florida, Louisville, and FSU. That's only 3 losses I see.
Yeah, okay.
I think they beat Georgia Tech in a close game, and they're very fortunate to win the game. And it wouldn't shock me if Georgia Tech beats them again. That's to me, there's 4 teams they can lose to: Georgia Tech, Florida, FSU, and Louisville. Louisville's going to be good. Louisville's going to surprise people. 9-3, 8-4, Cristobal. If he's 8-4, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. So just going to what you alluded to before, Louisville is sitting ranked 8th. Now this ranking, there's a lot that goes into these rankings on this transfer portal. They're ranked 8th, but they have 30 commits. Yeah. Colorado has 34, and just to kind of
and Chad, be honest with you, the other one had them ranked 4th. Another survey.
Yeah.
Had them 4th.
So as far as number of commits, they've got the highest. They rank them based on the quality of commits.
Right.
So I mean,
what was the total number they have?
They have 30 commits.
Wow.
And so 23 of them are considered 3 stars, and 6 of them are considered 4 stars. So the teams ahead of them, Texas is right ahead of them with only 9 commits, but quality commits, right? Colorado's ahead of Texas with 34 commits. Florida State's above Colorado with 15 commits. Next is Alabama at 11 commits. So Alabama's sitting at number 4. Oregon's sitting at number 3 with 11 commits. Texas A&M is at 27 commits at number 2, but they've got a lot of quality in that. 8 4 stars. And then you got Ole Miss with 18 commits that is considered to have the best class coming out of the transfer portal. They got 1 5-star and 7 4 stars and 10 3 stars. So that's how some people have them ranked.
Yeah.
But you're right. Okay. Yeah, they're doing really, really well. Louisville is probably going to surprise some people.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think their schedule's that difficult.
North Carolina State is sitting at 14.
Yeah.
So, talking about other...
They're always pretty sound. NC State's pretty sound. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're good, but they're pretty sound.
And then UCF's at 25 and Auburn's at 27.
Here we go.
Just say
Here we go. God almighty. All right, the latest, Chad. This is the latest after spring football, after the draft. This is your very latest from the experts, and that is the top 10 teams in college football next year. It's crazy. 9 teams are from the Super Conference. When I say the Super Conference, the Big Ten, the SEC. Here's your top 10. The latest, okay? The number 1 team in the country is not Georgia Bulldogs. It's the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I agree with that, actually.
Number 2 is the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes, I agree with that,
that's
too.
That's the Big Ten, and that's the SEC.
Yep.
Number 3 from the SEC, Texas Longhorns. Number 4, Oregon, Big Ten. Number 5, Alabama from the SEC. Number 6, Ole Miss from the SEC. Number 7 for the Big Ten. I don't believe this at all. I don't think they're going to be this good at all. Number 7 for the Big Ten, Michigan.
I don't think they're going to be this good either.
No, I don't. No, because of all the new coaches.
And I'm not hating on Michigan.
No,
just
I'm not
everything that's gone on. They had a real problem with players transferring out.
Yeah,
There's some issues there that they've got to overcome.
NCAA's come in and put some hit on
that as well.
And more is coming.
Yeah,
more is coming.
I just don't see Michigan making it now. I'm not wishing doom and gloom on them. So,
well, it's okay if you do. Number 8, Missouri, SEC. Number 9, Penn State, Big Ten. And
why do they keep putting Penn State up there?
Because it's a great job, great talent.
Listen, I like Coach Franklin. I'm not knocking him, but let's just face it. They fizzle out every year. I mean, like, it just sounds like you did this disrespected Franklin. No, it's just.
I don't think it's elite.
The program is not elite to me.
All right,
that's the way to say it.
Guess who's number 10 in the country? They're not in the SEC. They're not in the Big Ten. Who's number 10 in the latest top 10 poll? Who is number 10? It's not from the SEC. It's not from the Big Ten.
Notre Dame.
Yes. How'd you know?
Because they're not in the SEC and not in the Big Ten.
Neither is Florida State. Dang, man. Florida State was not ranked in the top 10.
That's surprising. We'll see though how Uiagalelei does. If he's able to come out, running and gunning, then man, watch out. FSU's going to be really good.
Anyway, the latest poll from this is the experts, okay? 9 are from either the Big Ten or the SEC. Matter of fact, you had 5 of the top 10 from the SEC. 4 of the top 10 were from the Big Ten. 9 out of 10. The Super League is heading our way.
Listen,
I really believe that.
SEC and Big Ten football is going to be tough.
We got to get. SEC needs to do this. Okay, you got put down your pride. Florida Gators, Auburn, Georgia, Alabama. We got to let FSU in.
Yeah,
we don't want them going to Big Ten. Yep. We got to get Clemson in.
Yep.
We want to be a strong football power. We've got to get North Carolina, and we got to get Virginia.
Yeah.
We got to get those 2 new states.
I like Miami better than Virginia, and I get it. And we've had this argument over and over.
Nobody goes to the games. Nobody goes to the games.
Right, I know. But
they don't care down there. There's more things to do in Miami. We already got TVs in South Florida. They watch FSU. When FSU goes to play, half the stadium's for FSU. I hope John's not listening. Anyway, even if we don't get Virginia, we need to get Virginia Tech. We need to get somebody from the great state of Virginia. That's too many TVs, and we really need to get North Carolina. If we got North Carolina, Virginia, or Virginia Tech, we're in good shape. And I would even say, let's go get Pitt before the Big Ten does. Let's expand, get some more eyeballs, make it ESPN happy, like the Big Ten's done. They're from coast to coast. I mean, they're a national league.
You're
regional.
And I like how you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it from a business standpoint.
Thank you, Chad. Can you record that? He just said something good about me.
Right here.
I like that.
So, I mean, because that is the business model. How many TVs, how many, how many viewers can we get? How do we pull these people into this viewership?
Well, think about it. Basketball, North Carolina, Virginia, that would help.
Right, exactly.
Football, just the number of people. Hell, if you got Charlotte. I mean, look at the people who live in Charlotte.
Yeah.
That's a big state. North Carolina's one of the biggest states. It's growing like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
We need to get more states. We do not want the Big Ten to get Florida State. We need to keep them out of the southern states. We truly do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, what about Georgia Tech? Do we let Georgia have all that great state just for them? Should we not let Georgia Tech in just to pull away the
Georgia Tech
talent?
was in the SEC.
And they pulled out. Bobby Dodd pulled out. Bear Bryant had to miss that Grantland Rice thing.
He kept getting beat.
Derwin Holt, that dirty hit, they call it a dirty hit. I don't know. But seriously, Georgia Tech going to the SEC, that would, not now, but down the road, that could take a couple players away from the Bulldogs.
It could.
And Florida wants that to happen. Florida don't want Florida State in here.
Right, and Georgia doesn't want Georgia Tech in.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They do not.
Yeah.
Look at the small state of Alabama. We've got two great schools.
Yeah.
I think, just to be fair and balanced, maybe let's bring Georgia Tech back.
Well, so we're going to add UAB?
Anyway, we might as well add Southern Mississippi. We're going to do that.
Or Central Florida. Of course, they're in the Big 12. Yeah.
We get back. We got to talk about Kirby Smart. What's he going to let happen? Is he going to let FSU in? Is he going to let Georgia Tech in? Not if he. I don't think if he don't want him in, he run. Does he not run SEC now?
He's close to running it.
He's close.
He's not.
All right, you want your yard to look absolutely beautiful. Turf Pro Pest Control can make that happen for you. Call Pat. He'll come out. The yard look absolutely gorgeous. We talked about Max Fit. We talked about Dr. Ward. We talked about Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road, the best Texas barbecue you'll get anywhere. Try their turkey. It's outstanding. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Rudy's Barbecue. Also, the man, the myth, the legend, 25 years on Bay County sidelines, Dr. Chad Mitchell. Doc, what's the best way to get up with you?
Call Orthopedic Associates at 850-785-4344, or you can look me up at chadmitchellmd.com or robotmd.com.
Don't forget Rudy's, they cater. And also don't forget about El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base, the newest and best Mexican restaurant out there. Buy one, get one free during happy hour. Lunch specials Monday through Friday. Charlie Corn's place, you go pick out a side, and you go pick out a meat and three sides for $11.20. That brand new facility on 15th Street is incredible.
That's the price of a hamburger and fries. Only
good
meal.
Country cooking, the best you can get. Charlie Corn's place. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. What's going on with Kirby Smart and Georgia Bulldogs? We'll tell you when we get back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
You cannot stop rooting for your team. The old expression, if you love something, let it go, and if it doesn't come back, then it wasn't really yours to begin with. If you can let go of your team, you didn't love it to begin with. Jet fans have gotten mad at me over the last few years because I've been hard on the team. I think that's my job as a fan, hold their feet to the fire. But at 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Mostly sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 14 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast, and look for the high to be 79. Tonight, there will be a variety of slight fog and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 69. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's talk about the new GOAT of college football, and I really believe he will. I said before, he stays in coaching long enough, he could break all kind of records. It's incredible. Georgia head football coach Kirby Smart. We all know he can recruit, he can develop, he can coach. He's a ball coach, no doubt about that. One of the finest men I've ever met. Daddy was a high school coach. He played for his dad. He played at Georgia. Married his sweetheart. She played, I think she played volleyball, basketball, Georgia. I can't remember now. But here we go. Head coach, 17 so far, 17 first-round draft picks. He only has 16 losses as a head coach. Let me say it again, Chad. He's got 17 first-round draft picks, and he's only lost 16 games in his first 8 years as a head coach.
That's pretty good.
Incredible. Nick Saban, 8 years at Alabama, he won 108 games. Kirby Smart, 8 years at Georgia, he's won 110 games. But I want to be fair and balanced. When Saban took over Alabama, it was in terrible shape. They were on probation. They had losing seasons.
They were like Michigan.
Yeah, they were losing. They were terrible.
Except Michigan's won a national championship recently.
Auburn had beat them like 6 years in a row, 5 years in a row, whatever it was. It was in bad shape. Now, Kirby took over a team at Georgia. It usually wins about 10 games a year. Now, at Alabama, he coached inside linebackers. He coached in secondaries. He can coach it all. He knows what he's doing. But Georgia, you can call Georgia right now under Kirby Smart DBU. Georgia's had 11 players, defensive backs, have been drafted out of Georgia.
Does that surprise you?
11 defensive backs have been drafted since
That does not surprise me.
Since 2021.
Who else has a bunch of defensive backs?
That's crazy. 2021, Georgia had 11 defensive backs drafted. DBU number one. Not even. I used to think Alabama was.
That's where I was getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, where did he coach? He knows how to do it. He's an expert at that.
Georgia has produced more NFL draft picks in the last 4 years than any other team in the country. In the last 4 years, Georgia, under Kirby Smart recruiting and developing, Georgia Bulldogs have produced 42 draft picks in 4 years. Nobody, not even Alabama, can say that. The last 3 years in recruiting, Georgia's been number 1, number 2, and number 3. In the old days, that's what you could rest your head on. If you had a great year as a recruiting, you had a good chance of having great football teams in the future if you put great classes back to back. Georgia's done it. Ohio State's done it. Alabama's done it. And that's been the three teams, really the three powerhouses recently in college football. Everything has completely changed now. Everything's been changed. With them transferring in and out, you can't get kids to stay there. Doesn't seem to bother Kirby whatsoever. He has not changed his coaching philosophy. He gets in their face. He's very physical. He's very emotional. He works the crap out of them. You go to Georgia, you're going to be worked hard. You go to Georgia and stay, you'll be developed, and you have an opportunity to go into the NFL. The guy's unbelievable. I just got a text here. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Jim Bob, I'll let you talk about that tomorrow. That's pretty good, but I don't think we have enough time. What do you think, though, seriously? How much longer does Kirby stay?
Are you kidding?
Now, listen, this stuff now, they don't have a day off. This is not like the old days. You got to coach every single day. You got to worry about something every single day. They can transfer out a couple times a year. Everything's changed.
Is that why some coaches like the NFL job better?
Everybody's heading out to the NFL. He turned down the Falcons. I don't know if he got offered or not. There were rumors he got offered the Falcons job. I heard it was like $15 million. I just think one day, I don't think he stays here that long. I think I say that 10 years.
I could see him being at Georgia for another 10 years. I don't see anything over that.
I don't know.
He's young.
I get it, but I see him being there long term.
So you don't ever think he'll leave Georgia?
It would be shocking to me.
Yeah.
Now, if he went to the Atlanta Falcons, okay, I get it. I mean, I never thought Steve Spurrier was going anywhere either, and he took his little stint in the
They were putting pressure
NFL.
on him at Florida.
Yeah. I think Kirby is at home. That's how to say it. I think he's at home at Georgia. That's where he wanted to be.
We will see. How much time we got? Okay, I want to get over this real quick. The News Heralds, they must listen to us. You think they're listening? I think they listen to us.
They're smart, they are.
News Herald, they listened to us last Friday. We were talking. We declared we had to make a decision. Who was going to be the Bay County champions of Bay County baseball this year because it was so competitive. Mosley, Arnold split. Bozeman, Arnold split. But, and this is a huge but, Bozeman only lost one county game this year. One.
Good for them. They're very good
Arnold
at baseball.
lost,
They've been good
Arnold
at
lost,
baseball.
I think, 3. They lost to Mosley, Bozeman, and Bay.
Yeah.
So News Herald, what'd they do? They declared that Bozeman is the county champs. Thank you for their support, News Herald. We beat you we pulled the trigger before they did. So we'll take credit for that. And I think we're right. I do think Bozeman's the best baseball. You have to. Chad, am I wrong or not? You lose one district
Bozeman's
game.
been very, very good at baseball.
Very consistent.
They've got a great program going. Can't say enough good about it, but so does Arnold. Arnold's, and Mosley's been traditionally doing well too.
Let me ask you this. What's your thoughts on this? Cam Newton, been doing all these interviews. He was an NFL MVP. Cam Newton knows what he's talking about. Got to give him credit. He sees a little bit of Bo Nix and you all know he plays at Oregon, quarterback from Auburn, transfers out to Oregon, develops, does a great job. He thinks he looks a lot like the guy the 49ers have.
Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Bo as he's going to be a good backup quarterback that can come in, and we'll see how he does. Brock, I may be totally surprised they may develop him better.
This is they better not be a backup for long because Denver needs a quarterback now.
No, I know. Yep.
But Brock, this is what Cam says. Brock is extremely skillful. He's a grinder. When everything's going great, Bo Nix is the best of anybody. When everything's going great. I guess when things aren't going great, Bo struggles. He's got to get over that.
He's still got some little technical things going on with his throwing.
But Cam goes, I watched him at Oregon. I watched him at Auburn. The guy is legit. He is a ball player.
He's got talent. No question.
That's what he's saying. He goes.
The question is he
the mental part of it?
And is he going to be that team's quarterback for years into the future? I mean, we'll see. It all depends on how he develops.
He says that this guy, when things are going good, there's nobody better than Bo Nix. He also says it is a steal that they stole him in this year's draft. In other words, he thought he should have gone a lot higher. He still went, 8th or whatever it was?
Yeah, he still did well.
Yeah, he's up there really well, making big-time money. I've got the money of what these guys are making, and I'll give you one. This is a teaser, and I think Jim will have a lot of this stuff with us tomorrow. But the draft picks, Chad, LSU's quarterback Daniels, he was the first player picked out of the SEC. Money is huge. This is what Daniels projected to make: $37,748,436. To sign his name on a piece of paper, he's going to make $24 million, sign his name, $237,408.
Wow.
He's the second pick out of LSU.
Wow.
And their quarterback, they got him making it $29,209,073. His signing bonus at number 6, NFL draft, about $18 million. All right, we're out. Ryan Mulvey's got a great show, 11-1, and David's going to knock it out of the ballpark. The Underdogs, 4-6. The Mouth of the South, 6-10. We are out. We are tired. Something.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
Aaron Rodgers got traded to the Jets. If they both could do it over, would they?
It worked out so well for Jordan Love that I wouldn't want to disrupt the timeline at all.
Would the Jets do it again?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. And I think the answer is yes. I think they would.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays